One thing I wanted to know about this storyteller before I brought them on, their latest book is supposed to be like funny bone hilarious. It is called A Local Infrastructure Planning and Finance. Our next storyteller, Marya Morris.
On our third date, Andy said, I'm going to ask you to marry me, but I'm going to wait till a little more time passes so you don't think I'm kidding. And I was like, oh, just ask me. What the fuck? I'll say yes. What the hell? That first date went so well, he invited me up to his house in Glencoe the next night to meet his 3 kids. And I walk in, and I knew that, meeting kids right away when you're dating is not what you're supposed to do, but they really weren't my kids, so what the hell? And I get in the door, and there's these 3 adorable little people waiting to shake my hand, like the nerve. And the littlest one, Honor, sat on my lap and drank an entire quart of wonton soup. And the 9-year-old said, Glencoe's the safest city in Illinois. You can you can lock, or you can leave your door open overnight and you won't get robbed. Just so you know. It's like, So the kid's mom, Judy, had died 4 years earlier. And the void that she left was deep and really quiet. And I wanted to ask questions, but I didn't. It was very difficult for them to talk about it. We got married 3 months after that. Or I think it was more than that, but it felt like a whirlwind. We got married, and I dove into motherhood and marriage right away. I got laid off from my job about the same time, so I had nothing else to do after 30 years of getting up and going to work every day. And I felt in over my head, so I Googled, what do families eat for dinner? Okay, it's not popcorn and red wine. Noted. But Judy had a little recipe box with index cards with her handwriting, with her family recipes. So I made the brisket, Judy's family recipe brisket. I made the noodle kugel, and I made the matzo ball soup. And we did our best. And Andy found it really important to sit down at the table every night, so we did that. And I grew up in a house where that really wasn't a thing. The dinner table, I tell people we were raised by wolves. Like my mom I would say, there's no food in the house. And she'd be like, there's saltines. There's food. So I thought, this is nice. This is what families do. And it went pretty well. But I did find that first year of motherhood and marriage really overwhelming, mostly because of just the tasks of everyday life, the lunches and the appointments and the fucking car line at school and the cacophony of kids asking for things nonstop and your name, Mumsy, 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 that's the word the name they use for me, Mumsy, Mumsy, Mumsy. I'm like, oh my God, I never knew how good I had it. It was really hard to adjust to this. And plus, another thing they never tell prospective parents is that your whole life is about forms. You have to fill out forms for everything, forms that have other forms. Vaccination forms that you have to sign that you're not signing it, even though I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Anyway, it was rough. And then the laundry, I think that pairing socks of small children in quantity should be delegated to people who have to do community service in lieu of jail time. It's only fair. And I tried to be a not grouchy mom, but I lost it quite often. Sometimes I just held myself in. But one time we're all in the car, and the kids are in the back seat fighting, or they're probably just talking, and I just overreact, and I'm like, shut the fuck up! What is the matter with you people? I'm trying to drive. You're gonna cause an accident. And Cassidy, who was the oldest, she's 12 at the time, she was like, oh, Mumsy, we don't swear. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm in trouble. This is bad. This is bad. Okay, I won't stop with the potty mouth, except when you guys are outside of earshot, and then I'll maybe. So my adjustment to living in the suburbs was actually a little bit easier than being a mom and wife. It was the first time I lived in a house with a dishwasher. That was kind of cool. And a garage with a garage door opener, also neat. And then I found that the parents around me, they were cool. They weren't that bad. They were kind of, wealthier than I was, but that's all right. Everybody had their issues with their kids. Everybody was struggling. We were just all trying to do our best. And then Hannah, who was 9, I was putting her to bed one night, and she said to me, Mom, do you think there's any way that my mom can come back? I wanted to lie, but I said, no, honey, she can't, and I am so sorry. And she said, well, you're doing a pretty good job at being a mumsy. I said, thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Thank you.